first of all, hi everyone and welcome to October's platform webinar. My name is Monica, I'm Braden State Customer Success Manager. With us, we also have Tachi, our product manager. So any doubts about the course or questions will be handled by us. You can make it through the chat. And today we have Sam. He's our BrainFade course production manager, between many other things. If you've done some of our welcome courses, you might also recognize him or his voice. He's an amazing person, and today he'll be walking us through the teacher files and all the materials that we have created to make all of these classes more interactive with the students. So you may take over, Sam.
All right. First and foremost, before we get into anything super serious, I do want to say happy Halloween. I know spooky season is right upon us. We're a day away from Halloween officially. I know your classrooms, or if you're working in schools, the entire school may be really transformed around this time of year. So it's really wonderful to see everybody still so festive, still so wonderful to have a good time and be able to be silly in the classrooms and have fun with the students. Really wonderful to be kicking off today's webinar. As Monica has introduced, Monica has been on our support team for quite a while, so we're really grateful to have her. Every time you guys submit like a question or support ticket, it's Monica and her support team that come back with answers. So thank you so much for Monica for not only hosting this webinar, but for all you do in the support department. As Monica has said, my name is Sam Pan. I'm the course production manager. I'm one of the few people here that really go into the details, go into the weeds of trying to make each and every course more efficient, more functional, more fun for not only the students, but for teachers to hold and walk through as well. It's really important to us that each course is filled with really functional and easy to use resources for both students and teachers, because we do truly think that making a frictionless experience is really key to making sure the experience in the classroom is just as enriching and alive. All right. And as we go through some of the process today, I just want to remind you that the chat is always open for you guys. I know we typically do these webinars, and typically you may find that we're constantly talking in them, but if you have questions, feedback, or suggestions about any of our products, any of the way we do things, even the way we're hosting this webinar, please let us know in the chat. We'd love feedback. In fact, this is the best time to get feedback. If you're stuck on something, now is the time to ask, because it's very rarely we can have so many Brainforce support people all in the same room trying to work on any issues that you might have, that you might be encountering on your end. All right, so just a reminder, the chat is open for you guys. Please, either me or Monica or even Tachi may come in and answer any of those questions that you might have. Okay. Before let's go ahead and talk about what's on the page in front of you right now. So a little bit of our agenda as housekeeping. So today we're really going to be focusing in on the worksheets and the videos, basically the student experience. And then we'll be moving on to show you the navigating teacher files. So how do I find the lesson plans? How do I find the rubrics? How do I find the answer keys? We'll be going through all of that today as well, okay? Last but not least, we'll also be going through accessing rubrics and assessment. Something that's really important for us to start really thinking about is how do we really measure and monitor the progress that students are making during the course. That's something that's really important for teachers to keep track of, and really important for us to make sure that you guys are getting the information you need in order to really assess how your students are doing and how fast they're going and whatnot. Okay, so that's the main agenda. I'm going to go ahead and start to share my screen. And as I'm getting to do that, screen 2. As I'm getting to do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about what the goals are here. The goal here is to make sure teachers like you feel confident when using and accessing resources from our website. The goal is to make sure we can support teachers so that we can so teachers can spend more time, more quality time with their students, okay? Something else I want you to know, especially if you guys are brand new, it seems like a lot of you are, is that don't feel too bad about learning something brand new like Brain Buffet. I know it's a new program that you guys have to get on board with. Sometimes you guys are just kind of thrown to the wolves as CTE teachers, and the school says you're teaching this year and you have to teach it. And that's totally okay. I know it feels bad, but our job here is to try to make it feel a little less bad. We know that part of the learning process involves a little bit of the struggle of trying to figure things out, and hopefully you guys only have to learn this once, and hopefully we'll be the ones to really guide you through and make this as seamless and frictionless as possible. So that's the goal here today, is to really kind of guide you through the main features that students and teachers are going to have access to, and that you guys can have access to, and therefore can teach your teachers how to use these same resources. Okay, so everyone can see my screen. Okay, Monica and Tachi will tell me if they can't. Right now we are logged in to our Brain Buffet account. Okay, I'm logged in as a teacher right now. And if you don't see my class up here, that means you're not in a teacher account. That means you're a student account. And that means you won't be able to access a lot of the teacher resources that we're going to be talking about today. So if you're following along on a second screen or somewhere else, make sure that you have this My Class tab. And if you don't see any of this at all, and if you don't feel like you're logged in, you can always log in on the side here where it says log out. It's going to be log in if I'm not logged in. Okay. Once you are logged in, let's go ahead and talk about what the students and the users are going to see as they come in here, okay? So in the shoes of a student, typically, if they haven't started a course here, you can always find all the courses that they are enrolled in My Courses at the very top, okay? Once again, all the courses that students have access to and that you have access to as well is in My Courses up at the very top. Or if you've started one already, you can go to these recent courses little box and go ahead and continue on to the course that you previously were working on. Similarly, there's also a button here called more courses, and that takes you to the same place as the My Courses up top. Okay, now up top, you're going to go ahead and press on My Courses, and as it loads, it's going to show you a list of all the different courses that you have access to, like we said before. Now you'll see that most of them I haven't really started at all, and that's okay. As students get into this and start completing videos and assignments and quizzes, this progress bar will fill up, and it's very easy to tell when you are close to being finished. All right. Now for demonstration's sake, I'm just going to go in and go into our Photoshop certification course. Just with a click of anywhere on this main card here will take you inside of the video player. Okay, clicking on any of the courses in the My Courses section will take you to the video player. Right here in front of me, I see the video player, and this UI has a bunch of different features on it that I like to talk about. Okay, first and foremost, you'll see that we have this navigation bar on the left. That'll tell you all the different videos that are included inside of this particular module and this particular course. Okay, this UI is rather self-explanatory. You see the begin course and currently viewing. This is kind of what you're already seeing on the screen. And over here, we have the video player itself. Okay. Now on the student side, it's really important to note that every video, I'm going to hop into a random video right now, 1.05, for example.
Okay, so this first little set of projects are these.
I'm gonna go ahead and mute it just for example's sake, so you don't have to listen to Rob's voice, as some of you may already have heard. But as I'm watching a video, you'll see at the bottom here that we have the closed captioning, okay? And then also here on this timeline here, we also see this little dot. And this dot, if I skip forward to it, is actually a question, a pop-up question that happens within the videos. We call this just-in-time learning, okay? And what's so crazy, what's so amazing about just-in-time learning is that these questions pop up when it's relevant, right? We're learning as a student, we're listening to things, sometimes it's in one ear, out to the other. And in order to make sure that it stays between the head, we want to make sure that we're regurgitating this information, we're reviewing this information, we're getting these pop-up questions so that the students are paying attention, they're awake, they know that this question is coming up, so they're paying attention, they're listening intently and thinking about what kind of questions that may come up. Okay, now we have the question here in front of us for Photoshop is we have an image where the horizon line is slightly askew. What toolbar tool do we use to straighten the image? Now, me being a Photoshop user, I know that the straighten tool is most likely one of the tools that could be correct. But I know for sure that rotate is the wrong answer. I'm going to click on the wrong answer just so you guys can see what happens, right? When I click on rotate tool, it's wrong. Oops, actually, I got it wrong too. It's actually the crop tool. If I get it wrong, it's going to rewind me back to where we talk about this particular concept. Okay, that way the students aren't missing very critical information. You know, they're thinking critically about it and they're able to answer questions about this topic as they're watching these videos. So often, especially in this day and age, students will just watch a video and by the end of the video, they have learned nothing because they're actually on their phone. Questions like these where they pop up once again to quiz the students ensures that they aren't on their phone, they are paying attention, and they can answer these questions in order to continue and keep going with their video, right? I'm going to go ahead and answer it correctly. It's the crop tool. And like you can see, if I hit continue, it's going to continue on with the rest of the video. So that's something that's really important, a functionality that's really different on the Brain Buffet side of things that we're really proud of. And each question, every single video has at least one just-in-time question. And it's gonna make sure that students are present and they're paying attention. Okay, that's the just-in-time learning. One other thing that I have to talk about with this player is that every time they finish a video, they do have to come to the very end here. I'm going to show you one more time. The very end here, there is a star at the end of every video. And it's important that they click on the star, that they get to the end of the video, and they get to this star so they can submit their answers, all right? If you don't have this written down, you might want to write this down. It's very important that they submit their answers after they watch the video, or else the player does not record that they've answered this question, and it won't record that they've finished this topic in particular. Okay, so submitting your answers is really important, making sure those grades are submitted for the students and that the students can have those answers locked in for assessment and analytics, okay? Okay, so we've talked about the question that pops up. We've talked about the star submission that students have to click on in order to submit their answers. What else is on this UI that we have to talk about? And very clearly, I do want to talk about the overview and transcript tabs. Now, it's a little easy to miss at a glance, but here at the bottom here, you'll see an overview and transcripts tab. Okay, like I said, it's very easy to miss because you do have to scroll down a little bit just in order to see it properly. And my screen size may be a little bigger than others, but it is important that you guys know that this feature is here. Okay, so the overview tab, very simply, it gives you a very simple 3 to 5 sentences about what is important in this video. It's usually not even a summary, but more so even just bullet points on what is important to receive from this particular set of instructions. Even more cool is the transcripts, okay? And this is the real fun part. Transcripts are really great because sometimes there are these students who just won't watch the videos. They aren't visual learners, they're not auditory learners. They like to read and write at their own pace, and that happens, right? So that's what these transcripts are for. These are full-on formatted transcripts of the entire video. Every word that's said inside the videos is also down here as a transcript for students to read at their own pace, highlight, copy things into their notes, be able to go and Google search right from here by highlighting and copying into Google search. Right, there's a lot of use cases where text is just truly so important in making sure that every student is accounted for, whether they're visual, the auditory, or they're tactile, where they really need to be seeing the words, highlighting the words, interacting with the words in order to make sense of the content. Okay. Beyond that, we also have closed captioning. One more thing before I move on to closed captioning. You also see that you can download this transcript, this English transcript, so you can have it in a text format, a little easier to interact with sometimes. We also have viewed the Spanish transcript. So, of course, we have our videos fully in English. with subtitles, English and Spanish subtitles, but sometimes we have the same problems of a student who are not auditory or visual, and they speak Spanish. This Spanish transcript is going to be really key for their learning, right? And it's not just Spanish. Some courses have a few other languages involved, but most courses that we have on Brain Buffet today is going to be in English and in Spanish subtitles and in the transcript as well. Okay, so super cool. Definitely check that out for your students who definitely need that help or have different learning needs. As you're presenting this to other teachers, this is also going to be a really great opportunity to tell them that everything in here, all the transcript is from the video. We don't paraphrase, we don't fumble around the bush, but this is truly the transcript from the video. So anything that is in here, you can interact with and use in the classroom.
Sam, we have a question, I think, from Kit. So he's saying, I really like the engagement learning model. As a teacher, can I run the class report that shows completed videos, but where the answers were not submitted? For example, the student missed this action.
Absolutely, and that's something that we'll get into the course progression. When we talk about course progression and how the student is progressing through the course, as you might guess, this is something that the course progression chart is going to be showing you. So really great question. We'll be getting into it when we get into the My Class section. I'll be bringing that up again. But yes, so there are some students who will watch the videos but don't answer the questions. The quick answer is they will not be them watching and then not submitting the questions won't be recorded as participating in the video. So they must watch the videos, they must answer the questions, and they must submit the answers in order to get participation credit for watching this video. Okay, it's a little different from other LMSs where you have some LMSs who will allow you to get credit just by watching the first 5 seconds of the video. And while that is great for, quickly checking off and making sure that they are watching the videos, it does not ensure that they are retaining this information. It does not ensure that they are interacting with this information. So this part of this feature, this engagement learning feature, is really important, making sure that kids are engaged and that they are working within the complexities of the learning content. All right. Great question. We're going to get into that definitely when we get to My Class. But yes, that is the short and thin of it. All right. That is the student side. A few more features I would like to talk about really quickly is that the closed captioning is here inside the video player. So if you do have students who speak Spanish or Portuguese, or in this case, German as well, we have subtitles specifically for those students so that they can understand and follow along without much necessity to translate the entire video or look at the transcript and not watch the video. So we really want to make sure that we're tying in the visuals with auditory, with the text that they understand. It's so important for us to be able to speak the student's language so that they can connect, they can relate, they can really be able to be immersed within this content. All right, super wonderful. One other thing is the playback rate. This is something that's a little overlooked. The icon can be a little confusing, but there are students who are able to process things at the speed of light, and there's some students who just need a little more time. Maybe English isn't their first language, and so we have different playback rates, so the students can go as fast or as slow as they see fit, as comfortable for them. And that way we can really scale on how comfortable each student wants to learn and how fast they can really retain and receive, regurgitate this information as they see from the videos. Okay, so that's the last feature here, is the playback rate. Really wonderful. I'm just going to do a quick review of what we talked about so far. So far we've talked about the H5P, not the H5P, the just-in-time learning, which answers the questions in real time. We also talked about the star here, which helps students submit the answers into the system so that it can be graded. We talked about the playback rate for slower or faster students. We've talked about closed captioning for our multilingual learners. And last but not least, we talked about overview and transcripts where we have the entire text of the video right below so they can follow along. If they miss something, they can highlight something, they can interact with the text itself from the video. All right. Any burning questions before we move on away from the student side of things? Okay. Now, the student side of things has one more really key thing that I'd really like to talk about. We have in the course, so she's answering my question there. So one more last thing that is super important about the student side is project files. How do students get the resources, the starter files, the worksheets that they need in order to follow along in the classroom, right? The best place to get that is under the Photoshop's File tab. So here in this navigation, you'll see we have all the different projects, and always at the very top, you'll see Adobe Photoshop Certification Course, Photoshop Files, and usually there's a couple versions, right? It says Photoshop Files and it says Photoshop Project Files. Typically, when we want to click on the very lowest one, just to make sure that we're getting to the very root of the page there. And here you'll find both Google Drive and OneDrive links of the content that the student will need to download. Okay. These files, as I'm going to click on the Google Drive one just to show you guys, you'll see that all the files are grouped together from Project 1 to Project 8. And you'll see that you can download them all at once or individually. So let me go ahead and show you from the Google Drive side. If you select all of them, you can go ahead and hit download. You can download all of them at once. If you select just one to download, you can always just select one and also hit the same download button. The key here is that they are downloading their own version, their own copy of the material so that they can make changes and edits. If you guys request to make changes and edits on the Google Drive, we're going to deny you because we're not going to let you change these original files on Google Drive, right? So download your own copy, make those changes that the students will make changes to their own starter files and worksheets as they go along with the classroom. But it's very important to download, and sometimes you have to unzip the files and decompress the files, and that's completely normal from our side of things, okay? So I'm going to show you guys one more time just to make sure that you guys have got that. Again, student files, student resources can always be found at the top of the navigation list of the courses under the project files tab, okay? Also at the very top, sometimes I can find in the overview section, if I'm just entering the course for the very first time, I'm on this very first intro page, I can also find them in the resources tab up here, resources, and it's going to go to the same exact place, either to OneDrive or Google Drive, so you can get those starter files for them. All right. Yes, go ahead. Let's go ahead and show them the My Class side of things. We're going to go ahead and show you what it looks for the teacher side in order to get to your reporting and your instructor files. Monica, do you want to start? Do you want to take over? Or do you want me to go over that section?
I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you on my screen. All right, so from our dashboard right here, we're gonna go to the My Class page. And here we'll have on the left side this menu. Here we have the course progression tab. In here we'll be able to select a group, a classroom, and the specific course that they'll be working on could be, in our cases, After Effects. So you'll select that. You have to select the specific project you'll be working on to see that information. Okay, so here we can see this topic progression is the course completion percentage is for the whole course. Okay, this project ratio is for the specific topic. Okay, and now as you were asking, Keith, right here in topics completed, you can see who watched all the videos. And all of these that are green, they have sent the questions. If the student has not sent the questions, they will have it green. It will be like this. Okay, so in this case, Alan has not sent the questions for any of these videos. And we can see the students that have. Okay. And here you select the project you want to see. And again, the topics completed to see how much they have done.
Mhm.
And this can also be exported. You can just have to click here and export the information from here. I have it here open for you. It's project 6. So here I have the name of the student. This is the overall course progression. So how much they have done of the course. And here we can see, just like the checks, how much they have done or if they have sent the questions out. Okay. That would be it for course progressions. Now we also have the quiz reports. At the end of each project, we have a quiz assessment test. And we have here the results. Okay, so we're gonna select again the classroom, animation 2. We're gonna select the course, and we're gonna select the assessment test. So I'm gonna go with a project 6 for the test. And here you can see who has done it, how many attempts they have done, and what's their stats. In this case, I don't have studied these, so I'm gonna go to 1. Okay, here I have one student that got 10 out of 18. And out of the same page, I can review their answers right here on quiz details. Here I can see which answer they checked, how much they took to make that answer. I can see the right answer and the wrong answers also. And again, I can export this data just clicking here. Again, you have to select the specific test you want to see and the specific classroom to see that student's information. It'll look a little bit like this. Sorry, I have something in chat. Yeah. Okay, so here I can see when they submitted the answer, the percentage they got, and how many answers they got correctly. Now, this is actually very important. In order to pass, to get a certification, completion certification from Berkeley, you need to get 80% in all of these assessment tests, at least 80% to pass. Okay, so if this student got a 66%, if they finish the course, they won't get the certification because they have not gotten 80% or over on this test. And yes, one more thing that we can see from here. We can download the certificate from this page. Here in quiz reports, you have the name of the student, and here you can download their certificate. And then here you can see a detailed report on the specific student. Okay, so if you want to see which courses she's working on or specific projects can be done from here. And if you click here in this eye, you will hide the other student's information. So if you need to talk to a specific student, you can just hide the other students so you can talk about the specific situation with them. All right. Have you any questions about these reports?
Very nice. Thank you.
We definitely want to see the instructor files. So if you can go over the instructor files really quickly.
Yes. Again, to find the instructor files, I'm gonna go to my class page. I will usually be here in the class information page. This is the normal page to find. You will go here to instructor files. In here, you will find all of the instructor file to the courses that you are covering. All you have to do is click on it and you will be able to open them either Microsoft OneDrive or Google Drive. All right. Sam, I will pass it back to you so you can show them a little bit of this file.
Yeah, absolutely. Do I have to share my screen again, right? Okay. So as you guys can see from Monica's side, definitely these tabs is really important to go through and making sure that your classroom is set up correctly. One of the things that you may notice that Monica did not see on her side is that you will see this announcement section, right? And whatever you click, it'll look like nothing's really changing. So it's important to note that this section can be collapsed in order for you to really see the different sections that are going on. So if you do not see the different sections like I did here, maybe it's being covered by that announcement, go ahead and make sure you collapse those announcements so you can actually see the meat and potatoes of the teacher dashboard side, okay? Now within the instructor files, I do have some files here that we could show you. But it's important to note that as I get in here and go into the Google Drive, I'm just gonna kind of loosely explain what is included in all the teacher files across every course, all right? Just as a general rule. As I get into teacher files here, you'll see that we always include the course outline, kind of how the course is structured and built and should be run, okay? There are complete student packets and answer keys. So student packets are the student worksheets that students are tactilely filling out as they're going through the course. And of course, we're gonna need, as teachers, you're guys gonna need the answers to those worksheets. So that's what we've provided in this section where we have student packets and answer keys. Inside of every project, okay, we also have the lesson plan, which I'm gonna open up. And in this lesson plan, we give a little context about how this course, how this module in particular is going to be run. We talk about what we're doing as the project, what is the goal for these projects, what are we learning, what are the students learning. We have a project timeline, which will show you how long and how many videos that are involved in this particular module, which is really great for planning purposes. Oh, this entire module's watch time is only be an hour long. And then we have some more information. We have some specifications about the project. I'm going to whiz through this a little bit. I really want to show you here the very, very bottom. You'll see that there is a scoring rubric. And this is really great for teachers who have been thrown to the wolves for the very first time. They don't know how to run this class. They don't have to want to make every single rubric for every single assignment, for every single project. This is for you, right? We've made a scoring project, or scoring rubric for every single module. And it's going to help you determine how to grade the projects that are in this module, okay? And typically they're going to be in a way that's pretty standard throughout the course. So this, teachers can really choose what kind of scale. Maybe they don't want to use 25 points, they want to use 100 points. Very easy to scale because we have them all in the same type of point system, okay? You'll see in here that we have objective domains that we cover and different factors and specifications that we'll need the student to abide with in order to get a good grade. And so all of this is included in every single lesson plan that you find across any course, not just Photoshop, on the BrainFaith website, right? We have the PDF version and the DocX version. The PDF version is locked down, easy to read, easy to go through. DocX is if you're planning your own classrooms or your teachers are planning their own lessons, they can go in here, change, omit, add on to their own version of their lesson plans and use our lesson plan as a baseline edit, as a baseline template for them to work off of instead of starting from complete scratch, okay? Last but not least, I really want to show you guys the finished files. And the finished files are really important because in a lot of programs that we'll be certifying for, it's really hard for a new teacher to really understand what does good look like? What does a good project even look like? What does it have? And so finished files are basically like the starter files, but finished, as you can probably guess. The finished files are basically a teacher's way to grade a creative project while being able to see what a finished project is supposed to look like for their classroom, right? So that's finished files. It's going to be a lot similar to starter files from the student side. As of course, the student side has the teacher side, the teacher files that you have access to. Typically, the folders that you're clicking on will not only include the teacher files, but also the student resources as well. So you guys have a firm idea of what my files are as a teacher and then what their files are as a student. So you have both access. You don't have to go into the video side in order to get the student resources. We're making it a little easier for you guys and putting both the teacher and student resources all in one link. And it's really important to know that you can get this link here in the My Class page under instructor files, okay? Under instructor files. I believe that is officially 3:15, but I'm more than happy to continue going if you guys would like. If you guys have any burning questions, this is where we can go ahead and answer those burning questions. Like Monica has said before, students will need at least an 80% on all their quizzes in order to pass the certification course, in order to get their certificate officially from Brain Buffet. And that does make sure that the students have the base competency that they will need in order to get a good grade on their certification exam. All right.
Do we have any questions? This is the moment, even if they're not questions from the specific topic of teacher class, if you have questions of the platform, classroom creation questions, this would be the moment. We're here to help you in every way we can.
If you guys,
Meanwhile, Sam, perhaps you can open since we have a Microsoft teacher here or that utilizes Microsoft, perhaps we can open the new Microsoft worksheet just so that you can take a look on how it looks. But if you have any questions, you can drop here or ask anytime or open your mic. Comments or questions?
I don't have access directly on this account, but something that's important that I would really love to show is that even if you're in your classroom, right, and you have your series of courses that you have enrolled, right, that you guys have purchased from Brain Buffet, you can also see these same courses in the My Courses page here, right? But if you're wondering if there's other courses or there's courses here that you don't see that you are enrolled in, but you would like to explore, we also have a way for you to see courses that aren't in your particular library that we have at Brain Buffet. And a good way to see that is under Explore Brain Buffet, and I'm gonna go down to courses here, right? Not to be confused with My Courses. My Courses only show what you have access to, but if you go to Explore and then Courses, this will show you all the courses, all the products, all the vouchers and cert prep resources that we have available on the Brain Buffet website. You'll see that not only do we have Adobe, but we also have Autodesk. We have business. If you're interested in just business, not interested in Adobe, you can come here to that business tab and be able to really explore the other products that we have developed. A lot of them are brand new, and we're really excited to show you guys and really be able to show them off to you. But definitely, if you want to come here and explore on your own, this is definitely the place to do it. Again, that's going to be an Explore and Courses. All right.
Take this opportunity to bow. Let me share my screen.
If you don't mind me adding to that, many of your teachers are already working with a Certiport rep, and anyone can contact their Certiport rep and get a trial license.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I'd like to mention that we're gonna have a free PD session on November 7th at 5 p.m. EST. I'm gonna drop right here the link for you all to subscribe, or if you wanna send it to somebody, some other teachers. Oh, that one. Sorry. There it is. You can register for the session. And yeah, see the new updates there with our team. It's gonna be a free PD session for PMI, Project Management Ready, done by Jeff Campbell.
Yeah, this is a super great course. It's really meant to be played alongside any other subject that you have got going on. So it's maybe science and project management, business literacy and project management, Adobe and project management, right? This is a course that's really meant to kind of be done as a way to manage or have other kids manage each other and be able to learn the process, what it's like to be a project manager within the classroom setting. So super exciting. Yep, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're more than happy to get those questions answered for you guys. Once again, thank you so much. Monica, if you don't have anything to add. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome job, guys. This was helpful.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Keith.
you.
We appreciate your support.
Thank you. Have a good one and see you next week or next month or at the project management free PD session.